I owe a lot of money. I got to pay a lot of money back. Um, and I went back down to the Dominican Republic in 2024, and I was trying to find out some information on what had happened to a girl that I was involved with there at the time. We used to live together. And the reason I was trying to figure out why is because we had a breakup, and when I left, we talked, and I went to get my furniture. And it turned into this big thing. She came over with a guy in a black SUV. He used to ride around the neighborhood, and they had a bunch of kids with them. I had never seen the kids before. And I came over with a person that I used to know from the very, very first time I went back to the Dominican Republic back in 2020, to help me because I didn't really speak Spanish and I didn't know the law. And I went to the police station in the town that I was staying in, and I told them, hey, me and my girlfriend, we're breaking up. I got some things there, and I want to get them out of there, so because I'm going back to the United States. And the police officer told me to go and take your stuff out, because he said if the police come, he was like, it could be a problem for you because you're not a Dominican citizen. This isn't the Dominican Republic. So anyway, to make a long story short, we broke up. It was, big, ugly, fighting, all this stuff, right? It was a little ugly. Not like physical fighting. No, not physical fighting. It was a little ugly, right? And I probably left maybe a week or so after that. I went back to the United States, right? This is back in 2023. So when I had gotten back to the United States, well, let me tell you the important part, and it took me a while to figure this out. When I got back to the United States, we were still messaging and talking, right? I was telling her like, I still want to be with you, and she was like, hey, I want to be with you too, but we can't, because I didn't understand why. So she got robbed when I was back here working, because I called her one morning, I messaged her one morning, and she had gotten robbed. And she sent me some photos. She said, yeah, someone broke into my apartment. I was like, oh, what the heck? I was like, what's going on? And she told me, and I could understand because she was upset. She was like, and I think you're the one who did it. And I was like, what? I was like, I didn't send someone down there to rob you. And we continued to message after that, actually. We messaged up until about May or June. We still had messages back and forth. But when I had some time after I got a place here, I was going through my storage unit, and I found some old bank deposit receipts, because I used to send down the money for her to pay the rent, because we shared a place, money so she could pay the rent while I was working. And on some of those receipts, see, I didn't notice it then, it would be my name, right? Because she got me a bank account down there. She had a friend at the bank. She got me a bank account because I'm not a Dominican citizen, right? So I don't have a Dominican ID. I'm not Dominican, right? I'm a United States citizen. There's a lot of receipts that had my name on it, but it was always spelled wrong by one letter, or it would be weird. So if your name was Michael Jackson, it would be Micah Jackson, or it'd be Michael Jackson. Every time, it would always be wrong. So when I went back down there in 2024, and I was still there in 2025 earlier this year, I would go, and sometimes I would still see the same thing on receipts I would get. It would be my name would be wrong by one letter. And I was like, how is it possible that this many people could get my name not wrong, just slightly wrong, slightly wrong. And it's even the same way on some, for example, electric bill I have, it's the same way. It's off by one letter. There's one letter missing. I'm not going to say my full government name. So I started to realize, I said, is someone pretending to be me? Is there someone who has an account who's pretending to be me? Because we all know, you guys ever heard the German word doppelganger? We all know somewhere in the world there's somebody who looks exactly like you. It might be a relative of yours, but somewhere there's someone who looks similar to you. Right? And I was like, is that what's going on? Because in 2022, no, it was 2023, some of my information got shared on the dark web. And then I saw another message about it earlier in this year too. And I was like, that's when it started to click for me. I said, wait a second. Is someone pretending to be me? So I don't have any more information than that. But I mean, it's a little strange that so many places, because some people will get your name wrong. Of course, that happens. People get your name wrong. But I was like, wow, this is a lot of instances of people misspelling my name by just one letter. And I was like, is someone pretending to be me? I don't know. But I mean, I have the information that I have. Maybe it'll prove handy one day. But for right now, I realized that I might have been a victim of identity theft there. And I didn't even realize it because, I don't understand the court systems there. I do understand the language a lot better now, but, and I feel partially responsible because I probably shouldn't have went there and went off resort without being more fluent in Spanish. Now I can speak Spanish. I'm about 60, 70%. But I don't recommend it to anybody going to any foreign country if you're not like familiar with the language or you actually have a blood relative there or like a really, really good friend. Because if you don't, there might be things going on that you don't even realize. And I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, someone could be like pretending to be me right now. And I don't even know because all someone has to do is look somewhat, remotely like me. And if anyone has access to my documents, which I mean, it's 2025, people can copy and paste your signature or get a, photocopy of your ID, and then it's like, oh, I have no idea. So, I made a video recently, but, in terms of traveling, the tips from this video would be make sure you're fluent in the language. And the second tip would be is, really, really be careful with who you share your documentation with. Now, I was living with this person, so I had gotten really comfortable with her. So, I mean, now thinking back on it, I kind of blame myself. It was my fault. I shouldn't have given out my actual like identification information. And I'm not saying that this person did it to me. It's just that I wasn't really thinking about it that way. But now that I see those, like some of those bank deposits and receipts, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of people like misspelling my name. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people like misspelling my name. And it just makes you wonder like, oh, was someone pretending to be me? And it's like, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe somebody knows. That's why I'm making the videos. Like, even I don't know. But for now, I got to keep working though, because I got a bunch of money I got to pay back. But anyway, you guys be safe. Oh, fire truck's here. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I got to get to work. See you later.